Wow.
Yeah, well, we're live. Turn the volume off on that.
It's off. Are we up? Are we running?
We're live, I think.
Hey! Thanks for joining us. Just decided that we wanted to do a little impromptu live stream to say, hey, it's been a minute. And we got the garage all cleaned up, so... Well, you got the garage all cleaned up.
We got the garage cleaned up.
Okay.
It's been a long time since we've done one of these. The last time we were live in the cow room. And today we wanted to try being live from the garage. And just a different change of scenery.
Yeah, there's a lot of lights going on right here.
We spent a lot of time sitting out here just watching people walk by with the dogs. So we figured, hey, why not bring people to the garage? So you went on a big ride today.
I did, yeah. I'm going to a camp out soon called No Coast, and it's a Lita-specific camp out. But one of my friends, she's new to riding, and she's going to be going out there as well. And we wanted to do like a little test ride with her, so we went like an hour, a little bit more than an hour away, and then rode back. So that was nice. She did really good. Went with another friend as well, so it was just a small group of us, just 3 people. We went out to the Urbana area, if you're familiar, and then came back.
I am familiar. Do you want a phone mount for your phone so you can watch the chat?
No, I think I can keep a good eye on it.
Move a quad lock over to the monkey.
That might be a good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
So who all went today?
So it was Danielle and Elise, just the two of them. We went to Urbana Brewing Company or something like that. Got some good beer and a pizza. I got this hard seltzer that they made in-house and then put the flavoring in right there. It was a mojito one, and that was bomb. Bomb diggity. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi to Trey, thank you for watching, and Roll Stand 2, appreciate you being here, and Brian, good to see ya. Thanks for being here, guys. I saw Trey, you said you watched the Hunter 350 video earlier. That was a really fun bike to ride.
I'm surprised you haven't bought one yet.
I know, but I got the monkey, so.
Now, if somebody were saying, oh, I'm going to get a monkey or I'm going to get a Hunter 350, why would they choose one over the other?
I think that they would choose a Hunter 350 if it was more of like a daily driver and they were doing a little bit more higher speed stuff. Like the monkey tops out at 50 or 55. Great for around town. I don't think the monkey would easily be your only bike, but I think the Hunter 350 could more so be like your only bike. Just because it can do more things. It's a little bit bigger. You can maybe put some bags on it if you wanted to take it on a little trip. Monkey, you definitely could. There's people that do that, but it would just be a little bit more difficult.
Both bikes come in around $4,000 in the U.S. If you were buying a first bike, would it be the monkey or the Royal Enfield Hunter 350?
I want to say the Hunter 350 because it's sized like a regular bike. I would worry, and this was a concern that we had when we first started. We thought about getting a Grom for our first bike. And we were worried about learning on a smaller bike. Would our skills easily transfer to a bigger bike? Like, would that be a disadvantage in some way? I don't really know the answer to that, but I mean, based on the choice that we made, I would probably say I would today make that choice again and get the Hunter 350.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I guess we do have a bias because we did make the choice between a Grom and the CB350R, and we loved the CB350R. It was still very small by full-size motorcycle standards. It was just a little over 300 pounds and probably, not much faster than the Hunter 350, but you feel like you're flying when you're going 30 miles an hour.
I'm just laughing to myself because I remember thinking that bike was so heavy we didn't have a garage at the time, so we used to have to park it in our shed. And there was like this 1-inch lip that I had to get the bike over when I was backing out or pulling straight in. And that lip was terrifying to me. I could not, I couldn't. It took me like a good 6 months to be comfortable going over that lip. And I remember one time I dropped it. Well, like one.
Oh, in the grass.
Yeah,
I
in
remember.
the grass.
Yeah, that was the first time we had dropped a motorcycle. I just brightened it up a little.
Thanks.
That was the first time we had dropped a motorcycle, and you dropped it in the grass, and we picked it up, and it was totally fine.
It was fine.
I remember you've been throwing bikes ever since.
Shut up. You were in the shower, and I like ran to you because I couldn't pick it up on my own. I didn't know what to do. And you were like, okay. And then you picked it up.
I'll bet the people tuning in, motorcyclists probably watch this channel, so that I bet there are some really good stories that other people could share in the chat about the first time they dropped a bike and what happened and whether they totaled their motorcycle and all kinds of interesting things.
Whether they totaled their motorcycle? Why do you bring that up?
No reason.
Okay. Hey, Worth, thanks for joining.
I'm glad that people decided to show up because I wasn't sure if 5 seconds was enough heads up.
We
but
have 8
turns
people.
out it is. Hello
well,
to
I'm
all
one
8
of
people.
The 8, so we have 7.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's all good. All right, so you went on the big ride today. You took Danielle and Elise. That was Danielle's first big ride. So how long is the travel to No Coast? That's where you're going, right?
Yes, it's over 4 hours, I think. I think it's like 4.5.
Okay.
I don't remember the mileage. I would guess like, I don't know, 250 to 350. I have no idea.
Yeah, like a little farther than Cleveland.
Yeah. And it's to a campground, so it is a motorcycle camp out. Again, all female. It's a Lita-specific motorcycle camp out. And then I think we want to do like some hiking when we get there and stuff. What's really cool about this one is that the food is actually included in your ticket, with the exception of lunch. So, yeah, lunch you just kind of, go out on your own. But I'm excited for this one. I think it'll be a smaller crew, and there will be more activities potentially. I think it'll be a good time.
Well, I hope that it is, and I hope that Danielle has a good time, especially. Our friend Danielle bought her motorcycle last year, and she hasn't ridden it a whole lot, so we're excited for her to ride it more this year. We have been trying to encourage her to get it out of the garage and run around. I take for granted, we take for granted probably that we had each other to ride with when we were first starting out, so there was always like somebody to go run around with and somebody to talk about motorcycles with, and if you don't have that person readily available,
it's a different experience.
Yeah, especially too if you have to ride around by yourself all the time or choose to ride around by yourself all the time. It's probably less. It's just a different experience. So we had a lot of advantages starting off for sure, just by being a couple that decided to ride.
Oh, we've got some people in the chat here. Lloyd M says, I dropped my dad's Goldwing in the shop when I was younger, and I like to have never got that thing back up. Those are heavy.
I can't believe you got it back up. That's incredible.
Wow. Yeah, I would have been terrified if I dropped my dad's bike, especially if it was a Goldwing. My dad didn't ride motorcycles, but that just sounds like a scary circumstance. And then Trey Williams says, dropped my friend's Kawasaki. Why did I forget how to say that word? Kawasaki?
You haven't had enough Monster Energy, that's
right.
why.
His Kawasaki Limited, I think, 440 in the wet grass, right after he told me to be careful in the wet grass. Wet grass is out to get motorcyclists, I think.
And it's also a guarantee that if your folks tell you to be careful, that you're going to do the thing they told you to be careful about.
Yeah.
Just happens that way. So, big trip today. Danielle got her sea legs back, is going on the trip with you, Elise. And all three of you work together at your day job, so you're converting the the motorcycle.
Yes.
The tech department is turning into motorcyclists, and the superintendent's gonna ride around on a motorcycle soon, and
Yeah.
yeah, she's gonna love that.
Yeah.
Um,
We're gonna just have our own girl gang.
I think you should, the Gahanna Girl Gang. That's what you can call it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's got a good ring to it, but
No.
you could try it out. So you just came back from another big trip to Happy Anniversary to Us.
Yeah. Love you. I went to Bro again. I went to Babes Ride Out in upstate New York. The big all-girls motorcycle camp out. East Coast, this one, they have them on the West Coast as well, but I went to the East Coast. Wasn't planning on going, but decided to at the last minute. One of my good friends was going to be there, and, I said, screw it, let's just go and hang out with her and have fun. So that's what I did. And I took the Tiger.
You took the Tiger. We haven't formally introduced the Tiger on the channel yet. We had the Tiger in the last video where we went to Granville and went to Three Tigers. We
Yes.
took one Tiger to Three Tigers Brewing.
We did.
But yeah, for those who have been following us for a while, you know that we change bikes a lot. And right now the Tiger 1200 XCX is sitting in front of us on the other side of the camera, getting a well-deserved rest after Gina took it all the way to New York and back to Narrowsburg. And they've got all kinds of those Babes Ride Out events. They got the Babes in the Dirt, the Babes in the Snow, and the Babes on the Moon, and
Yeah, that one. I want to go to that one.
go to the moon.
Hi, Moses.
Mose boy,
Hi,
welcome to
buddy.
the live stream, buddy. We're
This-
talking to people. Do you want to talk to people?
He
Come on up.
loves people.
Oh yeah.
This is Moses. He is my pride and joy. I love him so much.
He's a good boy.
He's a very good boy. Thank
and
you.
he's here to say hello and to check on everything. Mosey, you got your back to the people. They can't see
Oh,
your
okay.
face in your bandana. They can probably hear you breathing though. So why don't you go lay down?
Go on, bud.
Would that be okay?
Go lay down.
All right. Well,
Okay.
you're out of the shot.
Lay down.
Thank you. Okay, so
Yeah, so we got
Babes Ride Out was fun.
the Tiger was great. I definitely want to get the foot pegs to go on like the crash bars because that would have made a big difference. And I wish I took the seat cushion thing, the AirHawk, with me. But other than that, it was perfect. Having the cruise control where you can go up and down was life-changing, especially because I rode out with Biker Babe Beth. And whenever you're riding with somebody and they're leading, inevitably your speed is going to be different. So
Yeah. Most people probably don't have a bike that even has cruise control. Would you say that that's like an essential 2023 thing to have?
yes, I would, especially if you're going an hour or more on your motorcycle. If you plan to do any, Moses, please stop. Please stop.
I don't think it's bothering anybody.
It's bothering me.
Okay, Mosey, go lay down. Go on, get.
If you're planning to go longer than an hour anywhere on your motorcycle, must have cruise control.
Cruise control is a must-have. Heated grips are a must-have for you.
Yeah.
The Monkey does not have either of those.
Well, that's okay. We love the Monkey.
We got people chiming in.
Yeah. Sorry. So Worth Anderson said in 1975, when I was learning to race enduros, that sounds fun.
That
My
sounds
bike
scary.
dropped me in more different directions than you can imagine. I bet that, that sounds like a lot. Trey asked how the job is going. I believe I saw a post about new job, more responsibilities at work, and happy anniversary to us. Thank you, Trey. Yeah, job is going great. I absolutely love it. I'm in the tech industry and I lead a team of technicians, and so in the leadership role, you have a little bit more responsibilities, but I like it.
If you've
really
ever
like it.
seen the IT crowd, Gina is Jen.
I don't have any good Gen quotes in my pocket.
The shoes.
The shoes.
And thank you for the happy anniversary. I can't imagine what it's like to have grown up doing the enduro thing or dirt bikes or anything. We had no exposure to motorcycles before 2020. We did not have any relatives that rode motorcycles. We did not have any time as passengers on motorcycles. We didn't have any.
I did.
I guess you and Quinn.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for the most part, we had no real...
Like, no consistency of motorcycles.
Yeah, I remember my Uncle Eddie showed up to a family reunion on a motorcycle once, and he picked me up and put me on it and sat on it, and I burned my leg.
Ouch.
On his...
exhaust.
on his like engine casing.
Ouchie.
And because I was in shorts at the time, and that was my one and only like memory of motorcycles growing up, is burning my leg on Uncle Eddie's. I assume it was a Harley. I have no idea.
Probably.
What else could it be?
Is Rolston? I assume that you're Roland, Cheryl's husband. You said Cheryl's new Guzzi has cruise. It spoils you quick. Absolutely, it does. She seems really comfortable on that bike, and I'm really happy that she got it. She seemed to enjoy her time at Babes on that bike, so that was pretty cool to see.
We love that for Cheryl.
Yeah.
The V85 is such a excellent value of a bike too. Like if you're in the market and you're saying, oh, I want a bike that can do a little bit of everything, a little bit of off-road, a little bit of touring, a little bit of
handles
commuting.
Well.
Yeah, the handling on the Moto Guzzi V85 is uncanny. I don't know if suspension, tires, geometry, all of it just lines up. I have a lot of good things to say about the Moto Guzzi V85 besides not having one anymore.
I know. Yeah, the Tiger is just doing it for us.
I just went to push my hair back and it's not there anymore.
Oh yeah, I shaved his head today. I shaved it.
Yeah, I got a haircut in the backyard, so I'm gonna have to get used to that.
That's fun. Like a little chia pet.
It's probably gonna start raining small hairs.
Probably.
So Cheryl's got a V85, and that was great.
Yeah.
Great for her. And you ran into her. They met up at the hotel, and then you guys all kind of did the last stretch together.
No, we left pretty early. On that morning to get out there because we also were meeting up with Natalie, so we had to like make that connection. So we left before them, but we just happened to stay at the same hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, we were waiting for some other friends to pull in, and then we're like, "Oh, motorcycles are here!" And Beth and I ran out to the road, and then it was Meg and Nicole and Cheryl.
The crew.
Yeah.
The Litas crew. And for those who may not be aware, the Litas is a all-female or female-identifying motorcycle collective. They exist in many cities in the United States, and I assume internationally, since there's a Babes in Iceland or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The Babes in the Snow. So, yeah, it's non-committal.
Wait, you weren't making that up, Babes in the Snow?
No, it's a real thing. They just launched.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I saw an ad for it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It might not be Iceland. It might be Greenland.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's if you or a woman in your life is looking for some gals to stand around and talk about motorcycles with and go on some rides, do some camping events, things like that, check out Alita's chapter in your area. I don't think it costs anything to join.
Nope.
And
There's no commitment too. You literally just sign up, and if you come to something, that's awesome. And if you don't, we hope that you do someday.
Yeah, the Columbus chapter has like 200 interested parties or something like that, maybe more nowadays, and consistently probably between 30 and 50 people show up. So I'm obviously not a part of it because I am neither female nor female identifying. I just know a lot about it because we're adjacent to it all the time. So yeah, if that's something that you're looking for, check it out.
Pan Am Ed, hello. He says, so I'll bite. What made you get rid of the V85 and go Triumph?
Do you want to take that or do you want me to take that? First of all, we are absolute Triumph fanboys in this house. We have owned Bonneville, Speed Triple 1050, Street Triple 765R, the Rocket 3 Triple Black GT.
And now the
Any
Tiger.
other Triumphs? Yeah, and now the 2019 Tiger.
If you count the first Bonneville, that's another one.
Well, yeah, we like the Bonneville so much we bought it twice when we had a major mechanical malfunction with the first one. So yeah, we have been huge fans of the Triumph brand in this house, and we have owned a couple of Hondas. We've owned a Harley. We've owned the Moto Guzzi. Obviously, we still have the Monkey. So I guess that'd be 3 Hondas.
Yep.
What else am I missing?
Did you say the Harley?
Yeah, I said the Harley.
No.
Anyway, big fans of Triumph. So right there's a consumer bias there. But for me personally, I just gravitate towards a bike that has a little more engine to it. And the Tiger had a little more engine to it. And our good buddy Seth over at Iron Pony got this used one in. It had 6,100 miles. It now has 9,200 miles after, what have we had it for, like a month and a half?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, we've been riding the snot out of it. I've been commuting to work on it every day.
We also love the triple. So we had the speed triple 1050 and then the street triple. We consolidated the street triple and the Guzzi into the Tiger. And I just love that engine so much, and I was honestly pretty devastated to get rid of the street triple. It's a fantastic bike, and I hope to buy one again someday, but we just needed less money going out every month, to be totally frank. So when we were able to find an awesome deal on the Tiger and then make everything else happen, everything just kind of fell into place. The Tiger is absolutely a dream bike. I rode it shortly after I got my license and started riding motorcycles, and have been in love with it ever since. Specifically, I think it was a 2020, which is basically the same as the 2019. So it was pretty cool to be able to fulfill that dream.
Yeah, the combination of the street triple engine, sound, feel, characteristics, and the stance and form factor of an ADV bike. The Tiger consolidated those 2 bikes into one. So for us, it was a timing thing, and it was a utility thing, and an emotional thing. And I feel really, really great. I have no regrets about the Guzzi. And I really haven't thought much about the street triple, even though I do agree that's probably the best. Like on paper, the Street Triple 765, the iterations that are out. I don't know about like the new ones. We should probably go review one of those soon. But hey, Seth, hit us up. The Street Triple is probably the best bike that Triumph makes.
Phantom Ed said, "You guys go through bikes like I do. The new RS Triple is freaking sweet."
Yeah, in red, or is it yellow?
I know there is a yellow one.
Yeah, I want the yellow one. But yeah, that's such an incredible motorcycle. It's 400 pounds. It's fast as all get out. The brakes are great. The engine is great. I don't know.
Moses is great.
He's a good heckin' boy, and we love him very much.
But yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, Ed, but that's it. Oh, hey, Aaron, thanks for joining. We did clean the garage today, so thanks for noticing. We hung up all the tools very nicely, got the lights going. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bubby. Thank you.
Trey said the Monkey, I think what he's saying is Monkey is like a Bonnie Scrambler left in the dryer on high heat too long.
Oh, yeah? I mean...
Speaking of that.
Speaking of the dryer?
Speaking of the Scrambler.
Oh, the Scrambler. Oh, here we go. The meat and potatoes of this episode.
I kind of want a Scrambler 1200. And by kind of, I mean I really want a Scrambler 1200, the Triumph one.
Yeah, but the more important part of that, because everybody should want a Scrambler 1200, is that you're actually considering parting with Bonnie McMurray, the Triumph Bonneville, that you have almost 14,000 miles on.
Yeah, that number keeps getting bigger. Yeah, I'm considering getting rid of it, trading it for a Scrambler 1200, specifically the XC model. I've ridden that bike a few times. I've ridden the XE actually a few times and just adore it. I think it's an awesome bike. The sound is beautiful. The engine is perfect. Really like the styling, obviously. I mean, it's just a bigger looking Bonneville. It's up a few inches higher. Got a different tune on it. We accidentally ran into some off-roads the other day. We went camping.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I fell in love with that. I thought that was so, so cool. I did it on the Bonneville, and it did fine. It does have the ability to turn off traction control, which I found helpful. But, man, it would be really cool to have a Scrambler 1200. I think it'd be great on the road, too. Most of what I'm going to do is on the road. Eileen has joined us now. But, yeah, that'd be cool. What do you think?
I think that you'd be crazy to be rid of Bonnie McMurray. But I do think that these Scramblers are also very fun and incredible, and having both would be highly redundant. But I'll bet the folks listening in have more of an opinion on this. So the biggest thing for me is that the Bonneville is like an identity piece for you.
But this is like still a Bonneville. D Monroe 91 says, do it. I have a Scrambler 2019 or a 2019 Scrambler XC on day 3 of a 4-day trip on it around Lake Huron. Oh, that's cool. He says it's an amazing bike. I run Trail Max missions from Dunlop on mine. Awesome for on and off. I'll have to look into those. Truly a go anywhere, do anything bike. He said do it, so I think I should just do it.
I mean,
if y'all want to buy the Bonneville, let me know. Aaron, we have 1, 2, 3 bikes. Does the monkey count as a whole bike? Because if so, then we have 3. If not, we have 2.5.
I count it as a half bike, but I guess it is.
Eileen, can you not walk under the motor? Okay.
She's not worried about it.
Nope, she isn't. I really want it.
I want you to have it. I just don't want to not have the Bonneville. Because the Bonneville is the classic, the classic do-it-all Swiss Army knife motorcycle. Like, you can cruise over to Swenny's and get yourself a burger and fries. You can take it on a little trip. You can show up to bike night and be the coolest person there.
Can you? I have done a lot of customization to it, and the engine is just so nice and buttery with the tune and the Vance & Hines and the cat delete. Like,
unless you're the government, in which case our catalytic converter is totally in there and it's definitely a stock exhaust and there's not a tune at all.
Yeah, that. It's great. It sounds so good. It's, I think, the best sounding motorcycle. It's not too loud, but it's loud enough. It doesn't like get annoying when you're going a long distance. But that little pop pop that you get when you on the decel, just a little, like 1 or 2.
Yeah, It is a great sounding bike. Handles fine, comfortable, fine. Yeah. Sounds good. I don't know what more you could gain. Taller shoes.
Aaron, are you saying you would do a iron butt on the monkey itself? Aaron thinks the monkey is a whole bike. And he said if he had it, he would try and do an iron butt on it. This thing is comfy. I mean, I'm sitting on it. I like to go a long ways on this. This stock seat is like a freaking couch.
Could you meet the requirements for an iron butt knowing you can only go 50 miles per hour max?
I don't know.
Like, does that math check? I don't know if anybody else saw this either, but Triumph just put out a video where they beat the 24-hour farthest distance traveled on a motorcycle record on a Tiger 1200, but they did it on a track.
Oh,
and
that's cheating.
The dude just rode around a track for 24 hours.
That would be terrible.
Yeah. Talk about, I mean, they got the Guinness World Record, but could you imagine riding the monkey around a track?
No.
For 24 hours? The Iron Butt Association doesn't let you do that, actually. You have to
really?
Actually submit your route and gas receipts and stuff.
How do you know these things?
Because I looked it up, because I was going to do it on the Honda Shadow.
Oh.
That would have been a time. What is it?
Trey says, don't get rid of the Bonnie. I love it, and it's paid for. If you can get the Scrambler, then make a decision a little while later. The only downside to Scrambler is, and this is from D. Monroe, The only downside of the Scrambler is you might have to get creative with luggage since you can't rock luggage on the right side because of the high pipe. That is true. I've thought about that. And then he lists I think this is the bag he uses, correct? A US 40 and US 20. Fits everything I need for 2 weeks on the road. Yeah, that sounds like a 40 liter and a 20 liter bag. That sounds fine.
So let me ask you this. I feel like you're inspired to get the Scrambler now because we did that off-road expedition down at Lake Hope a couple weeks ago, but what if we didn't have the Tiger? Would that suddenly change your mind about wanting the Scrambler because of the luggage situation? Like you're gonna probably tour on the Tiger moving forward, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I will. I don't know. I don't need the volume that I used to take on the Bonneville. Like, I just pared down my stuff and gotten smaller stuff. So I don't know that I would need all of that space. Moses.
Go on, bud. Go on. Get.
But someone's telling me to come, someone's telling me to go.
He doesn't know what to do. Poor boy.
I know.
So even if we didn't have the Tiger, you would still want to scramble bramble.
Yeah, I think so.
You could take your scramble bramble to Jenny's and get some brambleberry crisp.
Yeah, I would. I would do that.
That would be the first thing.
Yeah.
Well, what else is there to update on?
I don't know.
I mean, should we close her down?
Yeah. I feel like that was good. Thanks,
amount of
guys,
time?
for joining. Yeah, all 12 people.
Are we still in? Are we out? How long have we been rolling for?
We've been rolling. I don't know how to tell. I don't know. I don't know. It's 9:36.
Hold on.
I
can see how long we've been going.
Aaron, you did 2 iron butts on your Rebel. Can't get any worse than that. I can't weigh in on whatever to get the Scrambler or not. I don't have the desire to off-road, so I don't need to look at those types. That's fair. What are you trying to get, Aaron? I'm sad to see your Rebel go. It is a part of who you are, but what are you looking to get? Do you know? I know you were curious about the V85 when I saw you a few times ago at Throttle. You were really interested in those bikes. I think that would be good, but I can also see you being a Harley boy. I don't know.
I would still be a Harley boy.
I would be a road queen.
Road queen?
I'm a road king. I like those. I like the Lowrider ST a lot. Those are great.
I really thought it was cool. You on the Street Glide.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was very comfortable. I think I
was impressed.
like the open, the no fairing. It's just like, man, managing that bike on an everyday basis would just be a lot. Like, there's no zipping down to whatever, the corner store, like, it's a to-do.
I mean, some people to do it.
I don't.
It's easy to romanticize the...
Oh. Aaron says he's looking at the V100, a Lowrider ST.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you haven't ridden the V100 yet, have you?
I have not ridden it yet.
I told Dylan, co-owner at Throttle Company, we were there one day. Gina was riding the Hunter 350. You guys have probably seen the video review that came out. That same day, I rode the V100, the Moto Guzzi V100, this new, and I felt like it was on par. Maybe not quite as good, but like I was like, this bike is in the same class as the Rocket 3.
I remember you saying that.
For just like muscle bike fun.
Yeah.
Like it just felt mean. It had attitude. It had get up and go. It had all the whiz bang technology. I was super impressed with the V100. No way would I buy one.
Why?
It had like a sport suspension thing going on. And the suspension is semi-active like the Tiger, so I think you could probably dial it in, but like it was actually a lot more, the ergonomics were a lot more sport bike than I thought. Like handling was incredible, all that stuff, but like I felt really kind of like on top of the bike.
Yeah, the seating position is very on top of. I mean, I've sat on it, and that was pretty surprising. I didn't expect it to be that position.
They say that it's like a sport tour, but like if you had to pick a ratio, I would say it's like 7 parts sport and 3 parts tour. Like,
Yeah.
could you theoretically strap some bags on it and go for a while? Yeah, but like that windshield's not doing much, and you know, your feet are kind of behind you a little.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate now that I'm thinking about it, but I feel like I was just like in sport bike mode. But it's super fun. It sounds incredible, handled great. It's if you have the opportunity to try it, anyone watching or listening, I think that the V100 is Moto Guzzi's like next step forward. Like it's a huge step forward.
With those two bikes, given I haven't ridden the V100, Aaron, the Lowrider ST, because that bike is a baddie. You should get it. That's the coolest looking bike. One of the coolest looking bikes around right now. I am obsessed.
I saw an El Diablo in the flesh the other day, and I forgot to tell you. But I'm telling you now.
Where?
I don't even remember. It was somewhere over in Worthington.
Oh my gosh.
But I was like, I can't believe they
so
bought
cool.
that.
They probably paid like 60 grand for it or something crazy. That's the thing about the lowriders is they expensive, and people are marking them up too. I think I saw one on Facebook Marketplace. Check that out.
Dealers are marking them up.
Yeah.
We looked into getting a lowrider at ST when it first came out, and they tacked on $6 grand just because.
Yeah, it was nonsense.
And we knew the salesperson too, like personally, so it was like, well.
Yeah, too bad.
Yeah, nobody wants to pay that tax.
No.
But cool bike. I didn't really like the Lowrider ST as much as you did. I think I'm just like done with the Softail frame though.
Yeah.
I could be convinced, I suppose, but it'd be touring frame all day long for me if we were to end up back in Harleytown.
For that amount of money, it's like, man, just a couple grand more and you can get a Road King, you know, or what have you. It's not that big of a price difference. So that's the biggest struggle there for me.
Yeah, and they hold their value too. So, you know, if you bought the Moto Guzzi V100, you don't know in a couple of years, like maybe they, you know, if you decide you don't like it, maybe the resale will be really bad. I know that, you know, they were doing some insane sales on V85s this past spring where like when we were trying to get rid of the V85, it made the price nosedive. But
that's true.
Harley's, at least for the next couple of years, it's probably looking like their prices are going to either stay rock solid or go up. So you'll be able to get your money back if you get a used ST.
Yeah. Pan Am Ed says he traded a Lowrider S in for the Panny. He says it was a great decision.
I believe that.
Yeah. The Pan Am wasn't for me, but I can see that it's a great bike. I just didn't expect the engine to be what it was. I don't really know how to articulate it, but it was a little like tractory, but not in a bad way. It was just like, I wasn't expecting that. And also the ergonomics were a little off for me. It just didn't fit right. It wasn't it, but it was a great bike.
How did you feel about the Sportster S?
I haven't ridden the Sportster S.
Did you not?
The line was backed up for that.
That's probably the fastest bike I've ridden so far.
I remember a lot of people saying that the brakes on it were super sketch.
I don't remember that. I just remember feeling like it was super unhinged. Like the Speed Triple 1200 is probably the most danger I've ever been in, but the Sportster S would be a close second.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like wild power. Like it had a very unhinged feel to it. Like it shook just a little bit, but in a good way.
The position is weird, right? Isn't that the one where you're like this?
Yeah, it's super uncomfortable. But
Phil, thanks for joining. Thanks for stopping in. Aaron says he's not ready for the weight of a bagger yet. Don't like the Sportster Sportster S at all. Oh, hot take. He doesn't like the Sportster S.
Can we just talk about that comment, not ready for a bagger yet? Like, I feel like there's this stigma to where you're supposed to be working your way up to bigger and heavier bikes. I definitely fell prey to that. And maybe that's like a masculinity thing or like, you know, men in motorcycles or whatever. But like, I went from the CB 300R to the Honda Shadow to the Heritage Classic to the Rocket 3. Like, I went on that ladder of like, and I guess the Rocket 3 weighs a little less than the Heritage, but like bigger, badder motorcycle, because that's supposed to be just better for you. And I don't know. I'm glad I got out of that headspace because I just don't agree with that anymore. But I think that's perpetuated. Like, the words that you say matter, and like to say, oh, I'm not ready for that yet. Like, you're supposed to be getting ready. I felt that way. I genuinely felt like someday I will be on a Goldwing or I will be on a road glide.
Yeah.
And there's still a little bit of that that's like, oh man, I'm excited for my Indian Challenger one of these days. And
I feel like
also my AARP membership.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's what I was about to say. I feel like it's an age thing now in my head. Like, oh yeah, when I'm old, I'll have this big heavy bike that I can't manage, but rides really smooth.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I think that about wraps it up.
Okay.
Thanks for joining, guys. This was fun. It was good to hang. Eileen says bye, but she doesn't like you. But don't take it personally. She doesn't like anyone.
She doesn't like anybody except for us and your parents and my parents.
Yep. That's about it. She's a grumpy little wiener dog.
Well, thanks for coming, everyone. We appreciate you always for watching. We know that videos are not super consistent nowadays, but that's because we
want to make what we like. We don't want to have pressure to make stuff that isn't as enjoyable or just make stuff up.
A lot of the people that we used to watch regularly, we don't watch every video anymore because they're on a schedule, and so sometimes they're making things just to make them. And we fell into that, and we were making things just to make them, and now we want to make things for you and for us that everyone's going to enjoy. Yeah. And that takes time, and sometimes there's not the inspiration or there's not the space, but thank you for continuing to come back to this channel, for continuing to be invested in our journey with motorcycling and just through life. And we hope that you find some entertainment. We hope that you find some value in some of the adventures, some of the reviews that we do. And as always, if you know somebody who is just getting into motorcycling and kind of wondering, you know, what that process might look like, send them to our channel and kind of they can watch the progression that we've gone through, and maybe it's helpful to someone else. But thanks everyone for tuning in. We will go ahead and shut this thing down.
Give me that doggy.
Here's the dog.
Give me the doggy. Oh no.
She's heavy after going to Grandma and Grandpa's.
Thanks guys, we appreciate you. I will see you on the next one.